This is the website that recorded my encounter with the fabulous, awesome, amazing astrologer DeBra SilVerMan. The best astrology day of my life. Okay, so this is the number. And this is the website. See, there's the number. I'm looking for the date that I had my encounter with her. There it is, I found it. 7/29/14. Right here. Alright, here we go. This is it. This is how you can too.
Welcome to the DeBra SilVerMan Astrology Show. Answers to your questions about making life work. And now your host, DeBra SilVerMan.
Hello out there, it's DeBra SilVerMan on a warm day in Seattle. Ooh, 84 in Seattle. And it's got that summer feel going on because we're right in the deep part of summer. Let's not even think about the deep part of winter. Doesn't that piss you off? Here we go. Winter comes the other way. Don't think about it. My name's Deborah, and I'm an astrologer. You're driving home in Seattle, and you just turned on to the radio. You're like, ooh, who's that? She's an astrologer. Ooh, astrology. Who believes in that? Well, here's the good news. She's a psychotherapist, and she's been in private practice for so long that she can really figure out you. So don't change the channel. And she's going to tell you about the planets today. And the theme of the show is emotions. No, just kidding. I'm not crying. I cried in the last show. I'm not doing that again. Because today, the Sun and Jupiter are conjunct in Leo. You know what that means? That you and I get to have fun. We have a party happening tonight. Get ready for it. It's joyful. It's exciting. And you have to find the joy in your life or else you're going home. Yep, the computer. The high school principal is going to call your name and say, you. I mean, why don't we have fun? All it takes, they say it takes less muscles to smile than to frown. So just try it. Go ahead right now. Ooh, that feels so good. Smiling for no reason. I'm here to tickle you because I think this life is so difficult. I was talking last week about my friend who's just on the edge of her transition to the other side and how emotional I got on the radio and I cried and that thing about death. And then the same thing happens when there's someone being born. You just find out, oh, you're pregnant and you're having a baby. How many of you out there today are pregnant and you're about to have a baby? And there's that excitement that life is coming in. And on either side, we cry when there's a birth. We cry when there's a death. We cry when we're really sad. And when you're really laughing hard, isn't it the best? When you laugh so hard, you start to cry. That's how you know. Tears are the salt water and the healing balm that our world needs more of. So I'm here tonight to say to you, let's talk about you and your ability to feel. You're going to call in. The name of the show is Tell Me a Story. And every story has an antagonist. And inside the story, this is classical from Shakespeare on, there's always someone with a big fat drama. Welcome to Leo. The Sun's in Leo, Jupiter's in Leo, and soon we're going to have Mercury in Leo. But right now we've got those two planets in Leo. And drama is the nature of this life. Oh, no, you won't believe what happened to me, she said. And then he said, oh, no, you won't believe what happened to me. This is like a really good beginning of a fairy tale. Only it's real. And the question is, when you're really upset, like today is a day where there's energy. The last 2 days, the sun and the moon were in Leo. That was going on during Sunday and Monday. Then today it just shifted into Earth. Did you feel it? So the question is, when it was in fire the last 2 days, did you notice your energy was so high on Sunday and Monday? Well, today we are moving into Moon in Virgo. We're coming on down. We're grounding. And what I want all of you to know is, if you learn, this is the whole point of astrology. Why do people listen to astrology radio shows? Why do they go open up the magazine and they read about astrology? It's the craziest thing. Why do we have every single magazine across all of America has an astrology column? Because everyone knows there's this longing to connect the stars with the earth, to take our emotional human experience and lift it up to a spiritual angle. And if you can do that, if you can just stop with your story, like, I need to get a job, or no, I don't hate my job, or oh no, I'm not in a relationship, or oh no, I'm in a stupid, all those dramas which elicit emotions are the doorway for your consciousness to wake up and say, oh, you mean this whole thing's just a movie? And I'm in a movie starring me? And I get to be the one directing this by the nature of my own choices? You gotta be kidding me. I did a session last night for a woman who's with a man 20 years younger than her, 17 years younger, and she has this guy who's one of those it's classical. There's lots of men out there right now suffering from this thing called commitment. They can't say it because they're wanderers, and they want to have one girlfriend for a while, and they want to change to the next girlfriend, or they want to have one relationship, but they don't really want to have that relationship, and they don't really want their job. Lots and lots of men across the time and history right now in America, in North America, are suffering because they can't figure out what to be. The 20 to 30-year-old young men are so confused about how to enter the world and find their malehood and be the classical leader or the provider because they can't even figure out what their middle name is. And then mothers look at their kids and go, what did I do wrong? So here's this young man, he's in a relationship with an older woman, and he says to her, ready? He says to her, I got to tell you the truth. They've been together 6 years, mind you. He says to her, I'm not really attracted to you anymore. Like when you come home, I don't feel butterflies. I don't feel any excitement. And I said, oh, are you still sexual? Yes. How often? She said, every other day. I was like, wait a minute. He's not attracted to you. He doesn't get butterflies, but you're having, like, this is so confusing. This is the classical story of a young man who can't marry, he can't commit, he doesn't want to have kids. He doesn't want to do that thing where you write down your name and sign it at the bottom saying, I promise, because he's got the wandering youthfulness of a young man that doesn't have a male leader. So my job was to turn to the wise woman, her, and say, listen, honey, if you want this guy around, stop imagining he's going to be your guy and just enjoy the fact that he's there, and then step off expecting anything from him and become a strong woman who has a lovely man in her bed, but stop pretending you're in a relationship with a grown-up. She was like, got tears in her eyes. She was like, that doesn't sound good. I was like, well, it's your choice. You either get the grown-up and then you leave him, or you get this young man who you love and you stay, but you have the power. And this is true for all of us. When the emotional body, when she walked into the session, she was like, I'm so confused and I'm so miserable. I was like, this isn't confusing. This is decision-making time. And the stories we tell ourselves decide everything. So your emotional body, she was filled with her emotions, like I'm such a wreck and I'm so nervous, that's because her awareness, her free will button, the conscious choice to say, this is what all those young men suffer from, make a choice. If the choice is I'm confused and I need help, that's very powerful. If the choice is I want to go to school and get some support, that's powerful. But if the choice is, I don't know, I'm kind of confused and I'm playing video games, now we got a problem. Because as soon as they comes across the table and starts to sleep at your house, it becomes so confusing. And your job, everyone listening to the show, is to ask yourself, how honest am I? How able am I to face the music? Don't judge it. If it's okay that you don't have a relationship, then accept that you're single. But if you want to change the story, take an action step. You go online. You ask somebody to introduce you to someone. You go to Starbucks and you act friendly. People that complain, which happens everywhere, it's because they're not clear enough to say, honestly, I need help. And I just think it's the most honorable thing in the world when someone calls me up and they say, can you help me? And I go, yes, I can. And there's lots of people that can help. But you can go to my website, DeBraSilVerManAstrology.com, and you can click on the front page. You're going to see your sign. And up will come a video. And I'm going to describe you. And I'm going to predict exactly your role in your movie. Oh, you're the one that talks too much. Oh, you're the one that doesn't talk at all. Oh, you're the one that's scared. Oh, you're the one that's super confident but's really insecure. And when I can describe you, you go, wow, that's crazy. That's so me. Then you get the choice to say, you know what? I just want to have a time out and do some self-reflection. And that's the beginning. So today on the show, it's called Tell Me a Story. The phone number is 425-373-5527. The lines are pretty much jammed, but you can wait in line, 425-373-5527, and you can get on the show. But even so, there's this wonderful thing I have called a teleclass, and we're finishing one today, but starting September, the next series is September the 9th. Get ready for this. You can go on my website, and there's going to be the beginning of me teaching you how to look at your chart. Now, if you have a basic understanding of the elements, you can jump right in. Just go for $99 on my website and sign up. If you started the beginner class and you learn the elements, you're going to have real fun getting to the next set. So there's 4 classes per set, and it's $99. You just go to my website, or you can write to silvermansupport@gmail.com. and we'll assist you to get online, because to learn this stuff, this is the most exciting thing in the whole world for me. I'm watching people learning my language. It's not mine. It's Egyptian. It's ancient. It's timeless. It's the language that gives you permission to understand your kid, your husband, the dog, and the cat. Oh, just kidding. I was just being funny. But they do have personalities, the dog and the cat. Okay, there goes Sharon. We lost her. She doesn't want to wait. It's not her problem. She can carry on. We are going to go first to Dashton. That's the coolest name, Dashton. Dashton, one minute before we go to you, I just want to finish by saying one more thing. I'm going to be in Detroit teaching on September 17th, 18th, and 19th. If anyone is listening on the radio tonight, if you're someone who lives in the Michigan area and you want to get a reading, you write to SilvermanSupport@gmail, and you say, I've been listening to Deborah on the radio, and you know what? It's so easy. All you have to do to get a reading is to write to SilvermanSupport@gmail, or go on my website and click on readings. And it's the gift you give yourself when you really honestly want nothing more than to figure you out. So I'm going to go to our first caller, and we're going to talk about your movie, the movie that you're in, the role that you play, and how do we wake up inside this dream? Are you there, Dashton?
Yes, I'm right here. Oh my God.
Why are you laughing already? I haven't even started. You're just nervous.
I'm so glad. That's so cool.
How did you find us tonight, Dashton? I love that name.
I was like on YouTube and crap, and I've been like on it for like ever and ever and ever. And when you said I Love Lucy was like an Aquarius, but she's really like a Leo. And then I watched you with Melissa Sharp and all that crap, and I saw you on Facebook, and like it's so cool. Yeah.
Oh my goodness, you have such a chart for an astrologer. Do you study astrology at all?
That's every single day of my life, every minute of my life. And anyone who ever comes to my site, I ask, what is your astrology sign? And there's like all these douchebags in the world, like they don't answer it, or they do, or they just, there's a lot of things going on. And I tried to record it and put it on like YouTube and say that this is Astrology Street, and like no one wants to be on film, so it's really hard to get this life that I'm living on camera. And I'm psychic, and I really do psychic and I get these spirits and everything, and they talk to me. It's really fun. And I am Gemini, Cancer rising, and I am Aquarius Pisces, and then I'm in Aquarius, and then my fourth house is Virgo. So anyways, your turn. You're Gemini.
We don't need me when we got you. You're having a party right over there by yourself. This is the chart of a psychic. You are fully a psychic. So are you actually doing readings?
Yes, I do readings in real life all the time. And like I talk to animals too, and it's really, really fun. And I don't get noticed for it because I have a Pisces, a no talent goes noticed with Pisces.
Oh my God, you are the funniest girl. This is so much fun that you called today. You know Alyssa and I watching us. So here's the deal. Your challenge, as you probably know, is you have no Earth in your chart. Did you know that?
Yeah, I'm supposed to learn about these Tauruses, and that's cool too.
So in astrology, when there's only one planet, you have just Neptune and Earth. We call that a singleton. And so it's like you have none. So the big trick for you, because you've got such a gift of information, is knowing how to ground and knowing how to give people practical, because you're so advanced. You're so ahead. Listen to all this. 2 planets in Aries, 3 planets in Aquarius, and she's got this funny Gemini rising. Is your rising Gemini?
Yeah, I'm a boy though, but it's Gemini, Cancer rising, yeah.
Oh, you're a boy, Dashton. I'm so sorry. I thought you were a girl.
Unicorn mushroom. I'm psychic too, and then I can't access that YouTube account, and then I have this other account. It's Dashton Sunflower Seed, and that's okay. And that thing is just me just driving and crying and like being chaotic and not be able to communicate very well. Like make it clear.
Because you're an advanced being. It must be hard. Is it hard for you? Do you feel like you're caught between the worlds? Like you're not really as human as you might, as people are down here?
Yeah, screw this crap. I'm like all wound up.
I'm all wound up. And is your sexuality, as a man, do you feel like you've got the strong, like, unusual quality, just not being quote-unquote normal?
I don't really crave sex, but I'll embrace it, and like, my sex life is none of your business unless you're part of it.
That's so funny. Oh my God, you're such a, what do you do for work, Dashton?
But astrology, psychic for free. I'm all for free.
And how do you make money, Mr. No Earth in your chart? How do you make money?
Oh, yeah, like, I'm on the disability tech and retardedness, you know what I mean? It doesn't matter where I get my money from, as long as I get it. I'm not a prostitute. I'm just free.
I'm not a prostitute, I'm just free. I know, because you have Moon in Aquarius and Mercury in Aquarius and Jupiter in Aquarius, and you are not from here. So I just want to acknowledge, and your son's at 0 degrees Pisces, so you really could have been an Aquarius. You're born 1 minute in. So listen, you're doing you're doing exactly what you're supposed to be doing, and I want to acknowledge it's a very powerful thing to come into this life and have this much conviction to being an individual and not having any desire to follow. And I can really feel that in you.
That's too cool.
And it's your gift to be able to give permission to us. Just by you being you and walking down the street, people get permission slips because you're showing us it's not necessary for us to conform, and that's what your promise is. And boy, you do it with flair. You must have kind of, what do you dress like?
A hippie, duh.
A hippie, duh. Do you have tattoos?
No, maybe one. My friend Heather Tackett, she carved it on my ankle and like put ink in it, and like it's like off now. It's like supposed to be a pentagram, and I don't know.
All right. Well, all I know is that was a yes or no question. Did you have a tattoo? I kind of got a vague answer, but I'm going with it. So listen, because most people when they get a tattoo, they know it. Listen, Dashton. I want to thank you for being here on this planet, and I know that at times it hasn't been easy, and particularly as a kid, that must have been really difficult, but the older you get, the better the shark gets, and especially right now, because you're giving yourself permission more than ever to be who you are, so keep on going. That Saturn and Scorpio is going to hit. Your Saturn return is going to happen just before Christmas.
Oh my God, that was like now. Oh, wow.
It's exact degree just before Christmas. So just be prepared. You're going to have a really strong winter, and that will be your time to actually really enter into your divine self and find out what you're here to do, which we know has to do with astrology, and we know has to do with magic. But that's going to be the turning point where you have to decide, am I willing to ground and play on the turf? You could at that point enter into the practical world if you want. With no Earth in your chart, you're not being asked to do that, but that is what your life lesson is. You got Saturn in the house of Earth. And do you know about my teleclass? It's starting next September.
In Michigan or something?
No, there's one. There's one on the computer. It's so cute. The webinar is September 9th, and I'm going to be. But it seems like you've got a good working relationship. But if you want to learn astrology according to DeBra SilVerMan, it's $99, and on September 9th we're going to start the next set, and it starts with just the planets and the signs, and then we do the houses, and then we use people's charts. And we learn right lifetime. It's a very cool way to learn, which you've got the natural ability. So I don't know if you need to take the class, but I'm going to invite you.
I want to just be your friend forever.
You can be my friend forever. I think I probably already know you in the ethers. You're just one of those very free spirits, and I am too. So I'm glad to meet you, Dashton. Thank you for being here tonight. Thanks for calling in.
Thank you ever so kindly. That's so groovy.
I'm so glad you were here. Okay, we're going to go to Jeremiah next. Listen, before we go to Jeremiah, I want to just speak to this. This is very interesting, what we just heard from Dashton, that so few people have permission to really be themselves and to go outside of the box and to feel uninhibited with no excuse. Can you imagine what you would be like if you really could be yourself? And that doesn't mean being out there. Like in her case, his case, Dashton's case, he lets himself completely uninhibitedly be himself. But for some of you, being yourself just means not talking. And for some of you, being yourself means really loving to clean and wanting to do it without feeling bad about being obsessive. And for some of you, being yourself means being really loud and arguing. I love it. The other day, one of my friends said, "Gee, Deb, it's so nice because you let me get pissy and not tell me it's bad. Because I love when people are themselves, and I don't judge it. I just wish the whole world would say, listen, if you're being your fiery self and you're loud, I want you to be able to say you're sorry when you're done, but please don't tone it down. Please be your whole self. Dashton, you're doing such a good job. You just inspired me. I'm just so normal." No, I'm not. But I try to be normal. I tried so many years. You can't believe what it was like when I was a kid. I had this fascination with astrology. This is the biggest joke. I have all this fire in my charts, can you tell? And when I was a kid, I had candles all over my room, and I never lit one. I never lit the candle. I never started my fire because I was too scared about my power. So I spent my whole life collecting. Isn't that a funny symbol? Because part of me was so self-conscious as a kid. Like, I'm too loud, I'm too big, I'm too fat, I'm too strong, I'm too wild. So I toned everything down, and it took me years until I went, just show up. So I just did some series of videos today. Many of you have seen my videos, and I was just watching myself going, oh my God, I'm so uninhibited now. There's no need for me to hold back. Have you noticed? Okay, I'm going to give you the phone number, 425-373-5527 if you want to call in. We are going to go to Jeremiah. Oh, look at this. Look at this. Jeremiah's the same. See what happens? Jeremiah's a Pisces with Moon in Aquarius and Mercury in Aquarius and Venus in Aquarius, and we get the same people calling in. Is that really true? Yes, it is. Jeremiah, are you there?
I'm here. Hi, Linda.
Hi, Jeremiah. Are you in the astrology class?
No, I'm not.
Well, you should for God's sake, have you ever studied